Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Gabby Trades, and today we've got some juicy stuff to talk about. If you're into crypto, world events, or trying to stay one step ahead of the market chaos, you're gonna love this one. Before we dive in, make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe, and join the Gabby Trades Discord, where we do live technical analysis, answer your questions, and dive into the trading charts with the trading fam. So yeah, make sure you join. It's in the description box and also in the chat box if you're live with me. Now, you guys, big drama, US versus China trade war again. Okay, so last Friday, the US and China basically turned up the heat in their never-ending trade beef. Trump came through with 145 tariffs on Chinese goods, and China clapped back hard with 125% tariffs on everything from the US. It's really like both countries are playing a game of who can tax harder. China even said they're done responding with more tariffs and they might start using other moves. They were talking about blocking Hollywood movies or making travel tougher. Yes, it's actually getting really messy. You guys, the US is just kind of sitting there and is saying, well, we'll wait for China to make their first move, while China's like, nah. So what does that mean for us traders? Well, these tariffs are stressing the markets out. We have 5 trillion in value that got wiped out, and then stocks tried to bounce back when things actually chilled a little bit. It was an absolute total roller coaster. Now, Bitcoin is vibing, but Mantra not so much. So let's talk about that a little bit. Bitcoin is still doing its thing. It's hovering around 85K, and it's looking strong. Some of that's because we had the inflation data that came in lower than expected, but actually the dollar is also kind of weak right now, so people are piling into crypto. Also, let's not forget, shout out to MicroStrategy for stacking more Bitcoin. Again, sailors out here like stack sats forever. Some big names are actually still saying that Bitcoin is going to 1 million long term. We'll see about that. Gold is continuing to go crazy. It's reached all-time highs again, trading above $3,000 per ounce. Now, historically, the gold's performance has been a precursor to Bitcoin's movements. Now, a lot of analysts are noting that Bitcoin often will follow gold's lead, especially during economic uncertainty. Let's see if that's actually the case. We're going to check the charts. And just quick word about Mantra. It's been crazy. I'm really sorry if anyone got wrecked, but yeah, that's the tea. Mantra absolutely crushed yesterday. We're talking about 90% in hours. It dropped from I think it was over $6 to under 50 cents. So people got wrecked with over 50 million in long positions completely liquidated. Now, the team actually is saying that it wasn't them that was selling, and they actually blamed it on the exchanges force liquidating big positions. But still, some wallets apparently dumped like 220 million worth of Mantra right before the crash. So that's a bit suspicious, right? Twitter is absolutely wilding over it. Some people are calling it the biggest rug, comparing it to Luna. Others are still holding the bag. Either way, it's a reminder to us, you guys, that altcoins can be super risky. So always, use tied risk management, because it can get really, really crazy. Now, let's say hi to everyone who's here. Sugar Cookie, Jet, Kun, Mr. Vane, Diamond Eyes. Happy to see you guys. How are you today? Okay, we're moving to the charts in 1 second. Actually, you know what? Start typing in the chat again so I can see. Oh, where's my screen? All right, hopefully you can see it now. Let's see in terms of news. Right, in terms of news, what do we have? 1 sec. Do you guys see it? Okay, you can. All right, so basically what's happening, I'm only looking at the red folders, right? Because that's what I'm interested in. So let's have a look. Wait, why is my screen doing these weird things? Okay, anyway, so we have on April 16th, right? We have the US retail sales. Now that's actually a key gauge of the US consumer spending, and the forecast suggests apparently that we might get 0.1 month-to-month raise in headline sales for March, and that would mean a pullback from February's rebound. Now, core retail sales may dip after a strong February gain. You know what? Given wavering consumer sentiment, with all those tariff fears, a miss here could actually amplify recession worries, whereas a beat in that might ease them. We also have the Chairman Powell speaking on that day, so watch out for that, as could get actually very volatile. And then Thursday, April 17th, we have, of course, the weekly jobless claims. Those are for April 12th, and they will be reported. That's a routine release. Claims have been trading up slightly, and that's a sharp move in either way might affect the market sentiment on the US employment health. That's something that we need to absolutely monitor. One sec, let me have a look at the chat again. All right, okay, everyone's saying hi. Code Glitch is here, dropping by. Hey. All right, cool. So let's not waste more time on the news. We have other news that are not red folder, but we're not going into that. We have Japan news, UK news, European Central Bank news, but we're not going to get into these things because they are not of interest to us in the charts. On the charts, I don't think we're going to see any effect from these news. All right, so Bitcoin is currently trading at 84,643, around that area. Now, we had the weekend. We had the small range on the weekend, nothing interesting, and we're starting Monday a bit slow, holding within that tiny 4-hour range. Now, as per the 4-hour strategy, we know what we are bearish. The good thing is that the target is decreasing, because initially the target was down here, so that's a good sign for the start of the week. Means that we're still bullish, and we know that we're still bullish because we had our bullish validation sitting up here. So we had a break of that level above 83,521. So now it's fair to say that we're bullish. But how far? We're bullish, of course, until our daily resistance level, which once upon a time used to be support, and now it's resistance at 89,084.3. So once we reach that level, and we were short from 87,700 down here on Bitcoin. So that short now has been invalidated. We've taken profits down, so it was all good. But I'm looking to short again around the 89,000 area, around this daily resistance, because this is actually the high time frame breaking point. Right? Traders are, long-term traders, more secure traders, people that are not risking as much, are looking to enter longs only upon break of that level. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to break 100% through that level. It's possible to break, and if we actually break through the 88.7, 89K, it's going to be very, very bullish, because then we're going to start looking into our liquidities on a lower time frame, which we know are sitting around 95K. So if that happens, if we break above this level here, it's going to be very, very good for us to take to grab that move here. It's still not going to be too much, but at least 7% move is not too bad for a trade for me. But trading down here, taking a long down here, for me was extremely risky trade in market conditions such as the ones we're currently in. For me, that's an absolute no-go. So yeah, Chris R, hello. Have you been here before? We don't know. introduce yourself, you guys. If you're new to the group, welcome. Please like and subscribe the video because we want to push the algo for this starting week, and we're going to have an amazing trading week. So first of all, what was my daily bias today when I reviewed with you together on Discord, right? Because I do the daily reviews. I said that I want to see Bitcoin weakening today down here, and I want to see it drop down to this particular level here at 82,773. Now, the reason for that is because when I open my indicators, which by the way, today is the last day for the 20% discount on the indicators, called April capital letters. You can find the link in the description. There is a bullish daily fair value gap down here. It's very tiny. It is small, but it is still a fair value gap on a higher time frame, which is the daily. So 82,773. I want to monitor this level very, very closely, and I'd like to see for price to drop down to that level where I want to be looking for buys from this level, right? It doesn't mean that it can't be wicked a bit further. Of course, we can determine that on a lower time frame, but I want to see that level. I want to see that level tapped into for me to make, can you go away? For me to make a decision on a long position over here to target the 89K. Again, risk to reward, I don't know if it's from here or down here. Let's say it's from down here. We're looking at, again, another 7 to 8% move. It's nothing crazy, but for a scalp, I think it's going to be worth it. That's the only way I would like to participate in a long right now, because I have the 4-hour confirmation here that we're long. So I'm now almost certain that we're going to see the 89K level tapped. And from here, maybe we're going to look for sales. We can determine that later. But yeah, for now, my idea was I want to see price drop down, take the current target on the 4-hour, and then travel back up to 89K, where I want to reevaluate and potentially enter into a new short position Bitcoin. And if that level is broken through, happy days, we'll switch long very, very fast. And then we're going to be targeting the 95K area, which is another zone that we can look for shorts. So that's it pretty much. This morning, Ethereum was quite interesting. On a 1-minute time frame, there was a short entry down here, which some of the members took. It was a very, very cute entry. So how did we find that entry? Well, very simple. I gave the signal if we have the indicators open. Yes. So I was going to say I tweeted. No, I posted on Discord. Real therapy sessions. Hello. Hi, everyone. Drop Bear. That's Drop Bear. So basically, yes, Drop Bear took the short this morning, actually, where we had this liquidity, and I posted on Discord. We have taken liquidity. So he entered short, which was a very good, he was quite concerned, actually. It was not a perfect session time. And we acknowledge that, of course, but on a lower time frame, this entry was actually very, very cute and super pretty. We can have a look at it right now on a 1-minute time frame. So we've taken the liquidity. I don't know if we can see it down here on a 1-minute, probably not, because the screen is a bit small. But anyway, with that wick up here. Okay, we're gonna go through that trade right now. Okay, so with that wick up here, we took the liquidity. So once we've taken the liquidity, there was a confirmation on a breaker block here entry that price is changing its delivery. So over here, it was a perfect a perfect short entry down here, and it's quite a good risk reward. And frankly, down here, price should have been exhausting already, because if we pull our standard deviation tool, we can see that if I was in that short, I would have been already taking profits around this area, right? So I'll take probably down here around 80% of the position for a scalp. So that was a very, very perfect entry, and I personally congratulated him on that entry. And as we were moving down, we were creating more liquidity. So first we had this liquidity taken, then continuation lower, then we had this liquidity, right? We had the resistance up here, retested, and then liquidity smashed, and we're continuing down right now. Why is always good to keep runners is because we have also this liquidity down here sitting on the 1 minute. So hopefully price will just continue to bleed down and take that liquidity for ETH. So that was a very, very cute trade on the 1 minute for Ethereum today. Of course, we can't do that ourselves. We always need the help of our indicators, and as you can see, they're pretty accurate. So yeah, we can see it right now working out pretty great. We saw it down here with this liquidity. We wicked through it, and then we continued to the upside. So this is pretty much how the indicators work. Okay, so we started now market open with the US having a bit of a drop. Ethereum has just swept liquidity on the 4 hours. So we're basically looking at how is this candle going to close right now. Is this candle going to close bullish or bearish? This is going to be a huge indicator for us. If this candle flips bullish right now on Ethereum, this is going to indicate that Ethereum is quite strong and it's going to finally reach to its level where we're going to understand if we're going to continue to short or we need to flip long, which is right at 1,814.88. This is my level for ETH. If ETH breaks that level, that's the only time when I will flip bullish for ETH, because I am still bearish on ETH. Even though we had on a lower time frame some breakage here, I still don't agree until we reach to 1,814. That level from here is either where I'm going to be looking for shorts or continuation higher, depending on how we trade, really. So we're currently in a little bit of a positive momentum, but it could really turn out bad very, very fast. And by bad, I don't mean bad. I mean, it's going to be actually absolutely amazing, because if we switch bearish, right? Let's say we come up and tag this level and then we drop down. We're going to reach our buy zone for Ethereum finally, because we've been waiting for that zone to be reached for quite a while, and it hasn't been, frankly, right? The buy zone starts at, wait, let me not draw, I'll show you guys. The buy zone starts at 1,357.82 and it finishes at 1,151. So this is the perfect zone where I would like to enter, you know, a serious sizable long positions on ETH. Before that, I'm not interested to play this tariffs game, right? I don't want to get caught up. Because ultimately we're still bearish, and we've spoke about Ethereum price in general, right? This is on the weekly time frame. We know that we're in a bullish leg, but we've retraced too deep into it. We've retraced too deep way back in 22. This is where we knew that ETH is going to lose its momentum when it reaches the 0.786, because once we drop to the 0.236, which is here, down here, we know that the next drop is going to come from 0.786, which is exactly what happened. So now when this happens, we know that price needs to go back to a 0.236 level. And little do we know, we also have the buy zone over there. So it just all lines up perfectly for us to become, you know, a little bit more risk oriented to the upside, take more trades in that, or at least for me, in that buy zone. So for me, this is sort of like a huge manipulation move right now. It could be the bottom, but there is no confirmation as of yet, especially on Ethereum, right? Especially on Ethereum. And if you're looking at the weekly time frame, and you're like, okay, I want to be extremely extra sure, well, to be honest, on a weekly, the confirmation is even higher, right? The confirmation is even higher on weekly. It needs to come above this bullish candle. So that's the 2000 level. So like if you are an extremely conservative trader for Ethereum, you're going to wait for price to go to 2000, break that level, and then you will be trading that happily, riding it until 3,852, where you'll be looking to exit. Right? So that's still quite a sizable move. So even if you're super conservative, right, you can get 100%, 90% move. That's not bad at all for a trade. Nana is in the chat. Hello. So, you know, it's not a time to be like, to feel too much FOMO right now, because you could simply get wrecked. First of all, there is not enough confirmation. We need to wait. We need to wait. We haven't reached the buy zone by a lot, like by almost 2%. Almost 2%. Nana, like the video, please. I don't even have to tell her. She always does it. Solana is looking very, very strong. Let's have a look at Sol real quick. I'm pretty sure it's still bullish on the 4-hour. Using the strategy. Sweep signals, yes. So for Solana, we're bullish. We're waiting to hit 136.22. But guess what happens once we reach that level? Once we reach that level, we enter into a massive sell zone for Solana. Massive sell zone that starts at 138.25 and it ends at 147.53. If we have a breakthrough here, happy days, right? But I'm going to be looking for sells around here in that zone for Solana because it will just be very, very good. Even though Sol has completely tapped into the buy zone, that doesn't mean that we couldn't get another drop below here. But Solana is very strong. We might even not sweep the low. Let's see what happens. Because to be fair, right, if Solana drops down to the 79.86 level, I am not going to look for Solana for anything above $235.27. So if it happens that we reach Solana at around $80, I'm going to take longs for sure, but I won't be expecting price to go any higher above $235. So let's hope that that doesn't happen for Sol. For Ethereum, we know where the exit is. It's very clear for me. It's at around 3,800. We have liquidity a little bit above. Maybe we can smash that liquidity at around 4,400, almost 4,500. But by this time, I'm going to be out of my position like 80%, and only 20% are going to be running, hoping for a little bit higher. Because let's be honest, we're in probably the last stage of this bull run, if not already, like, you know, finished with it. So we need a lot more confirmation right now. If it was, let's say, the beginning of the bull run and we see levels like this, okay, fair enough, let's go ahead and risk. But right now it's really, really touch and go situation. So I would like to be extremely safe. Now when we look at Nasdaq, same thing. We're looking at the price leg. We're on a weekly. That's a higher time frame, enough for you guys. So when we look at Nasdaq, this is the price leg that we're trading. It's a bullish price leg. So we're expecting a reaction from the 0.5% of this leg. Now, have we reached the 0.5? Let's assess together. Well, what do you know? We haven't. By what? We're looking at 0.6%. So probably, like, you know, from this low, we have another 1% down, or 2 at max, and then we can start to look for new all-time highs. This is going to be the safer trade, but we haven't really reached that level. We're reacting a little bit prematurely from that level. Yes, we're breaking, but this is a short-term rally, in my opinion. Okay, So to be fair, looking at Nasdaq, we have the first resistance level at 19,299, and if let's go on a lower time frame so it's a little bit clearer. And if we reach around the 20,000 mark on Nasdaq, I'm going to be looking for sales from here, right? I'm going to be looking for sales, even though there is still a possibility that this is a low, because don't forget, the all-time high is liquidity for Nasdaq. So we might as well just go from here and take it, but we need way more confirmation. Now, if we look on the micro E-mini S&P 500, which is what I used to trade when I trade equities, same thing. We've dropped down, we've taken the liquidity. It seemed impossible. Like a couple of months ago, it seemed absolutely impossible that we're going to take this low, but it happened right now and we're just reacting from it. Okay, amazing to see, but we still have to see levels broken. So for S&P 500, we need to see price trade through 5,722. That's our daily level, right? Daily level. We can mark it. Daily resistance. Where is my text? Here it is. Daily resistance at 5,722.5. This is again using the indicators, right? We have the same daily support down here and we can see we're reacting from it. Whether short term or long term, it doesn't matter. It's good for scalping, but for long in a bear market, I'm not going to risk my capital. But for a short at a resistant point, in not in a bear market, but in a bear market structure, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So, right, I prefer to look for sales around here, 5,722.5. If we break above, happy days, we're bullish, and now we're chasing the liquidity of the highs. And so that's pretty much it. Let's have a look and see how Ethereum is doing on a lower time frame. Okay, so it seems that this 4-hour candle might flip bullish right now. And if that happens, well, then we can look for trades to travel all the way to 1,814, which is going to confirm if we're continuing bullish or if we are going to start to look for shorts from here. So very exciting week for us this week in trading, to be honest. And I hope everyone is safe, because it's very, very hard to trade these particular markets. The moves are extremely uncertain, ups and downs, inverted fair value gaps, right? This should have been continuation short, but it's not. So then it's continuing up, then it's creating another inversion. Now it's long again. It's a complete roller coaster. Yes, there are entries, but the entries are extremely risky, right? Extremely risky. This was the long on ETH. This was the long on ETH within that inversion fair value gap over here, right? It retraced perfectly 50% within that inversion fair value gap, and now it's trading higher and it took the high. Well, you know, you could assess that as a trader and see, okay, like this is a trade that I can take, but are you really going to take a trade on a Sunday? I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't, and I didn't. So yeah, I strongly suggest you just stay safe, just like I do, because we haven't entirely flipped bullish on a 4-hour structure. Yes, we have, right? On a 4-hour structure, we completely have done it. We've done the job. We crossed the levels, right? But now, what's going to happen from now? This was the level down here. You see, we broke through it. We're retesting it, and now we're expecting continuation. Whether this is ranging down and then it drops to our daily, maybe that's going to give us an entry to continue along to target 89,000. Antoine, hello. So yeah, this is pretty much it. There is nothing else for us to discuss. There was a short on a 1-minute time frame on Ethereum this morning, which we had a look at, and it was very, very good short. So yeah, that's it pretty much. I don't have anything else for you today. We discussed mantra. Guys, honestly, stay safe. We're gonna monitor what happened with that case. I personally was not invested in mantra, so I'm very happy that I stayed away. But it's just telling you that crypto can be very, very dangerous. So please, you guys, stay safe and trade smart at this particular times. Yeah, you're most welcome, Alien Psyop. You guys are killing me with your usernames. Okay, so quick recap. I want to see price drop down to the daily level down here, 82,700, where potential longs on a 1 minute time frame to target 89,084, and which level I will be looking to short from. And if we break that level, we're switching long to chase the 95K. That's the plan, you guys, for this week. Let's have a look if that plays out. I'm really excited. By the way, we have the winner from last week's trading competition. Well, not really a winner, but the leader in our trading competition. So I'm going to drop the results for that in Discord. And you guys, please like the video again and join Discord if you haven't. It's free again today. So just click the link below and you can enter in our private Discord community. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys in the next one.